Come on, bitch, let's go. Come on, get ready, bitches. You haven't seen nothing yet. Come on.
Valentino, Versace, Lamborghini, Bugatti. I got money to burn. I'm single and I'm naughty.
Come on.
Tiffany's, Cartier, Gucci, Armani.
Come on.
Break out your black card, boys. It's time to party.
So you guys, how's that super moon treating you? You know what a super moon is. A few people asked me. It's when a moon is at its closest point in orbit to the Earth. And it looks really radiant and super bright and clear and sometimes larger than normal. It also sometimes lingers in the mornings, you know, when daylight is approaching more than normally. And this particular one was very special because it was also a hunter moon. And the reason it was called a hunter moon is it used to be the beginning of hunting season, and it was a signal for hunters to prepare for the approaching cold that was coming. And then, you know, all the animals would start to come out for them to be able to get them. And in Celtic days, they called it the sanguine or blood moon. And that was because, again, hunting season would begin, so lots of things would die. But it's a big spiritual, supposedly, change to everything in society when these types of moons come up, especially this particular one. So I guess, as I mentioned in my Real Housewives of Orange County from Friday, there should be a lot of huge technological advances that, if you believe in all this, should happen to our society, and also a bunch of, you know, injustices should be corrected, and hopefully some spiritual elevation is going to occur during this period. This is what the spiritualists say. I don't know what you feel about all that, but kind of a nice message. I felt like sharing it today, not so much because I believe it, but because I think it makes me feel excited and optimistic about the future, and I want to do that for you guys as well. There's just a lot of darkness we've been in for a while, it feels like, and I just want everyone to feel like they're coming out of the tunnel. There's just really a lot of difficult things happening across the world right now that are impacting people's psyche deeply, and I just really wanted to say something that might put you guys in a better state of mind for this weekend. Not easy to do in today's world. I also wanted to, before I get into reality TV exclusive gossip, which I have, and I'm going to be sharing a bunch of it today, that I noticed a bunch of loan reach outs to me as of late. Shocking ones. Like, I would open my mailbox and like 10 or 11 different loan application things, like no collateral, sign up for this credit card, 0 APR for 2 years, you don't need money to get this loan kind of stuff. And it really did remind me of back in 2008, because I have actually lived through quite a few financial crashes in my old age, and I've been impacted by them. I was involved in the .com crash, and I also was impacted in the 2008 crash. And I was even around the stock market crash of 1987. And oddly, there is a theme that I sense when it happens. And this is this idea that a bunch of people are able to get their hands on money, that they're offering these ridiculous enticements that should not be related to credit cards or loans to get you to get in debt or to put up collateral. And there's huge downside that's secretive in the back end. By secretive, I mean you're so excited to see 0 APR on your credit card for 12 months that you don't read that it's a 29% interest rate, which is outrageous on the back end of that credit card if you happen to rack up a debt, unfortunately, in the 11th month, and you're going to get whacked with it. And there's a lot more of those types of things. And I just really wanted to remind people to be very careful of these types of offerings that are coming right now. It's not, for me, a great sign of the economy. And I don't want you guys in a position where you're highly in debt going into a very volatile economic period, which definitely could follow after the election in November. So I'm asking you guys, because I care about you, to refrain from getting yourself in debt, especially if the debt comes easy right now. Just trust me on that. This is isn't my first rodeo. And if you study political science like I did, as you know, patterns emerge and things are very easy to predict if you study cycles. And so my red flags are ablazing right now. And we've been dancing around a recession for quite some time. And I just think that there could be a high likelihood, maybe 70 percentile in my humble opinion, in the next, 12 to 15 months. So just be careful with your spending. I know this isn't a financial podcast, but I've gotten to know all of you so much and care about you that I just wanted to talk to you like I would a friend right now about this, especially with all the things being thrown at people that sounds so wonderful. Meanwhile, however, they're really rushing to bring the inflation rate down to the Fed's goal of 2% next year. We'll see if they can pull it off. The real estate market, as far as I can see, is at a dead standstill or it's in free fall. But that's just me. Maybe it's just the areas I'm looking at. All right. Well, listen, let's get into our reality TV, shall we?
Come on, bitch, let's go.
So you guys know that on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 5, it has been a big discussion point. My YouTube video I did about Whitney Roses jewelry being from Alibaba, and they were going to put my, video into the show to try to tell this story that we're watching unfold on season 5. It is me, the influencer that lied. Whitney says she makes sure to say that influencer lied on camera, which is why I'm so glad that I asked for money, and when they didn't give it, I didn't give them the rights to use my clip, because I think, frankly, it's fallen pretty flat without my clip. If you didn't get a chance to hear my clip, because I think it only got 7,000 downloads, I'm going to play it for you right now. This is what was on YouTube. This is what I said about Whitney Roses jewelry in the current season 5 that they're alluding to a million times right now on the show. And then I'm going to tell you the gossip that everybody's dying to know, which is who gave me this tea out of the cast of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So we're going to start with this today, and I'm going to then drop some exclusive gossip on numerous franchises today that I think is going to make you guys really feel gratitude with paying your $6 a month to Dishing Drama Dana. All right, so let's start with me playing my YouTube video that I did not relinquish the clearance to Bravo to use that started all of this. And so you can hear the allegations and how I tell the story about Whitney Rose total sus bullshit spiritual jewelry line. Here we go. All right, let's do a gossip video about Whitney Rose and some very sketchy things I was sent about her new jewelry company that she launched and made. I think it was a theme at some point on season 4. I feel like there's a fight between Monica and Lisa Barlow and Angie Katsanevas, and I think that the event was related to the jewelry, although it was, I was disconnected from that aspect of what was being discussed because of the drama. Okay, so here is Whitney Rose's website for her new jewelry line, Prism. This was very exciting for her. And as you can see, she's charging $49 for this Zodiac pendant necklace. Well, it turns out that she can get the exact same necklace on AliExpress for $3.96. And look, it's the same picture even. Like, they didn't even bother changing the picture, okay? And then there's other examples of this. Oh, here's another picture of that same one from her website. So it's like really the same one. Then you go and you see that she has this gorgeous cross available on her website. But look, it's also available on Alibaba, and you can get it for $1.64 instead of what she's charging. I mean, right? What's happening here? And then we've got this lovely necklace. It's a 18 karat stone jewelry from Alibaba. That's also available on her website as well. Let's see where, here it is. Yeah, there it is. I know, crazy. How much is she charging? $62 for that one. How much is it on Alibaba? Let's look again. Hold on. Oh, $3.20. That's quite a markup, don't you think? Here's another example. Look look at here. Lucky Girl pendant necklace, top right-hand corner, and then Lucky Girl ring, $42. That's from her website. And look at, it's only $4.58 on AliExpress. I mean, given you'd have to wait a while for it to come in, but I mean, it might be worth the wait for the $30 difference. She should have at least re-photographed them, right? Okay, hold on. Let me read you something. So this is from Prism's website. There's Whitney Rose there. Whitney and Amber Lee bonded over the desire to inspire women to honor their healing journey and to spread the message that when you heal yourself, you heal the world. Join the Prism mission and follow along with us on Instagram for all the healing and luxury vibes. Luxury vibes? Are you serious right now? What is happening? I don't think this jewelry from China is very luxury and or has any spirituality attached to it. Just saying, guys. I mean, China makes great stuff, but luxury wouldn't be the word I would attach to it. So as you may remember, Whitney Rose launches her jewelry line in season 4, and this is the jewelry line I'm discussing in this video. She posted this on her social media. Spiritual healing and sparkle are in the forecast. You know, bad weather reference. I've been working on something behind the scenes, and I'm almost ready to give you a sneak peek. All right, and that ends up being Prism. Here's what Bravo said on their website. Per Whitney's bio for season 4, in addition to her skincare line, the blonde beauty is focusing her energy on launching a new luxury jewelry line that highlights spirituality and healing through Alibaba, obviously. The Utah resident first teased the line of jewelry in December of 2022, posing in a dress while lying on a couch and noting something in the forecast. I've been working on something behind the scenes and I'm almost ready to give you a sneak peek, she shared at the time, prompting her followers to get on a mailing list to get the big reveal. And the big reveal is Alibaba jewelry. Now, if you go to my Salt Lake City playlist, you're going to see that I did a few videos about Whitney Rose quite recently. One was about Justin Rose. The other was about her podcast partner and some of the scandals surrounding them. If you're one of these Bravo viewers that believes where there's smoke, there's fire, then these should interest you. So this gossip that drops supposedly originates with Meredith Marks, and Meredith Marks then tells Heather Gay. And then Heather Gay goes and tells Whitney Rose while they're bunking up in Milwaukee that there is this influencer out there, mysterious influencer, who's dropped something, a video or something, we don't know, and something on social media that shows that the jewelry that Whitney Rose buys and resells on Prism, which is her jewelry website, at a huge markup, like 70 times or something like that, that her jewelry is actually bought directly from Alibaba out of China, and she's only paying like $2 or $3 per piece. Now, this is obviously scandalous because of the huge markup that Whitney Rose is making on each piece. That's number one. Number two is the quality of the jewelry is not what she's representing through the branding on her website. Number three, she was so damn lazy, she didn't even bother to change the photo that appears on Alibaba, which she also uses on her website just to show that it is the same piece. Exactly, because she literally ripped the picture off of Alibaba and put it on her Prism website. So, you know, it's so scandalous. And then you add to it that it's supposed to be spiritual jewelry, which would indicate goodness, positivity, brings good luck to you, good energy. But really what it is a whole big old con, right? And that's what it comes off as. So that's kind of like the most opposite thing you would want associated with a spiritual jewelry line. Now, they didn't really describe it very well because, as you guys know, Shed Media reached out to me. They asked if they could license my video clip, 45 seconds of it. We got into a whole negotiation surrounding this video clip over a few days. I looked at the contract and it was horrific, as you would imagine. These contracts are based on the reality reckoning, but they wanted the clip. They wanted it for perpetuity. They wanted it to be able to be shown everywhere. They basically wanted ownership of the clip forever. And they only wanted to give me some sort of plug on the show, which they didn't really expressly state what that was, and a special thanks credit, which nobody reads the special thanks credits, okay? So I was like, listen, guys, that's really nice of you, but I don't need this type of promo for my YouTube channel, it really isn't going to do much for me. I'm already Dana Wilkie from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like her, hate her, don't care about her, but that's who I am. And they know I am. From Did You Know 25,000, from I fuck a lot and I drink a lot. You know the story. So I'm like, why are you approaching me with this like I'm some sort of random influencer that you don't know, like, you know, who I am? It's just so bizarre. And I said, plus the fans are going to get a huge kick out of this, and it's going to be kind of considered a mashup, and I think that would be good for Salt Lake. And anyway, I asked for $3,400 or maybe $3,200. I can't remember. But bottom line is they ghosted me after. It was so wrong because it just shows that even though reality stars and the reality reckoning have been begging NBC and Bravo and Shed and the production companies to try to be fair, to try to do something a little bit more like reasonable from an ethical standpoint, they still won't do it. They're still cheap as fuck and they make millions. They make so much money. It makes me angry. It makes me so angry that they wouldn't give a person $3,000 for their hard work and research and gossip that no one else has. Give it the value it's worth, because it created a whole damn storyline over 5 episodes. So your integrity and your ethics and all that shit has not changed. And I just proved it, which frankly was my point, because I knew you guys would be that cheap, that you wouldn't pay the $3,000, even though you know you should. But you're not in the business to pay people what they deserve. You're in the business of exploiting people. So I get why you failed on this test. But I digress. Let's talk about what ends up airing. We have this epic scene where, you know, Heather calls out that Whitney Roses' business has been called in question and everybody's gossiping about it. And she wanted to bring it up to Whitney Rose. And Whitney Rose goes into this whole thing about her reputation and this hurts her business. And she's so upset about it, which is a bunch of bullshit. I'll get into that in a minute. But more importantly is this scene happens after. Everybody seems a little blindsided by all this. Let me play you the scene.
I still can't believe that we moved into a home that has a view of a temple from most of the windows.
Oh no.
Hey, but it raises your property value.
That's what they say.
Oh, it's Adam. Hello?
Hey!
Hey, how's it going?
Oh my god. So, I was calling you because I didn't realize that it was somebody that you're close to who was putting this information out.
Adam is a casual friend of mine who is also a podcaster, and he is friends with the person that runs the account that posted that Prism's jewelry comes from Alibaba. So I asked Adam to reach out to the account to see if he could find out who fed the story, because I have my suspicions, but I need the proof. Just tell me, what was your conversation? Because this is my business, my brand, my reputation.
I was trying to do my best to figure out who this person was, right? And they said it's definitely somebody in your group. And I said, can you tell me who it is? They said, well, I can't tell you who it is, but you can ask me questions. And I said, does this person have a jewelry brand? They said, no. I said, does this person have a beauty brand? They said, no. And then I said, does this person have a liquor brand? And they said, yes. And I was like, oh my god.
No one in my friend group has a liquor brand besides Lisa Barlow.
Right.
Like, catching Lisa in this, especially after the outrage at Reality Von Tease. Let me just process this for a minute and then I'll reach back out to you.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, take care. Bye. On one hand, it's validating, but at the same time, I really didn't want it to be true, because it means I have a friendship that potentially was never real in the first place. Holy shit, babe.
So then after that dropped, Adam dropped this on social media. Listen.
So, all right, guys. So, as you saw tonight, I had a phone call with Whitney, which was actually an interesting phone call. And the way that they edited it was pretty interesting to me, but you guys are going to see how this plays out. However, at the end of the day, this phone call was toward the end of the season, so I was really surprised to see that it was in episode 5. They did leave out an important part of the phone call when I was talking to her, and I said I talked to a friend, but also said friend was not the same person who released Alibaba, the stuff about her jewelry line. But also at the end of it too, what they left out of the phone call, which I challenge Bravo to share this because I think it's very important, is the fact that I literally said, I am so sorry, Whitney. I know you wanted to find out if it was Lisa. I know you wanted it to be Lisa. Unfortunately, I could not find that information because Lisa was pretty much the suspect. That's who Whitney thought it was. Whitney thought that Lisa was capable of doing this, and I didn't know if she was or not. There's always rumors about the Housewives, and I said to Whitney, I will help you find out who is the one spreading this stuff about the jewelry line and the Alibaba of it all. But also Whitney told me that none of that was true. So there's more. Keep watching, and yeah, it was fun to make a little cameo, but keep your eye out. More to come.
Well, I spoke to Adam back during this time when this was all going down. We were more talking about the perspective of, Whitney Rose reaching out to him about who gave me the information on the video. He was like, listen, if you want, I can put you in touch with production because I'm going to be cleared to do like a scene with Whitney where we talk about the jewelry or whatever, who gave it. And, maybe you might want to say who did it or something like that. He was trying to help me. And I really appreciate, Up and Adam is my good friend and I adore him. And so what ends up happening is here's what I think happened. Whitney Rose manipulated Adam to tell her information for her storyline, to use this gossip that came out against her by one of her cast members and flip it around into, weaponizing it against Lisa Barlow, because she probably secretly really believed it was Lisa Barlow who did all of this damage to her, because Lisa Barlow's been known to have Finsta accounts where she'll attack or disseminate gossip through them to get out about other cast members. Now, these allegations have also been made to Meredith. You've heard that even on this season of Salt Lake City. Monica was, involved with an account called Reality Von Tease, which obviously that showed that at that time Monica was doing it. So there's quite a lot of this happening. Anyway, I believe that Whitney wanted it to be Lisa Barlow for a few reasons. Lisa Barlow, first and foremost, Whitney Rose has hated since she started this show. She has always hated Lisa Barlow, and Whitney has only become friends with people over the last few seasons of Salt Lake City because it was what the producers basically wanted her to do. Now, maybe it doesn't come directly from the producers. It might. I don't know how aggressive Shed's production team is, but, they make you feel like you better shoot with this person by setting up events with them or having other cast members say, you really should befriend Lisa this season because, the producers really want it and they might cut you if you don't do it. And I don't know. They use all these different psychological tactics to get you to do stuff. So Whitney notably becomes Lisa's friend last season, which I told you guys caused a real rift in Heather and her relationship, a rift that was so deep that Heather never trusted Whitney again. Now, Whitney did it because she wanted to survive on the show, and there were rumors she was getting cut from the show, so she decided to join forces with Lisa Barlow and show that she wasn't going to be in Heather Gay's shadow. She was going to be her own standalone cast member, stir up the pot, and keep her position on the show, especially because she needed the money because all of her businesses are sketchy AF. But that's really what was going on. And that actually caused damage to Heather and Whitney's relationship in a really severe way. Now, they go on later in the seasons and seem to make up. It took time. They're even pissed off at each other, if you recall, on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, when they go on vacation together in Thailand. Last we see of Leah McSweeney before she sues against Bravo in New York. And by the way, allowed to continue her case. Because of the district, because that district in particular probably is a little interested in Bravo at the moment. In the scene that you see Adam and Whitney talking, a few things you need to know. Number one, they didn't promote Adam's channel. If you think I was being a see you next Tuesday to shed media, then you'd be wrong, because here's Adam offering a massive storyline moment in Salt Lake City, and they don't even have the decency to put a graphic up when Whitney says, it's Adam, my friend Adam, influencer Adam, whatever Adam. It doesn't even bring up an Adam, or something even in text underneath, or her say in the dialogue moment, up an Adam, which would have helped him. I mean, it's really the only reason Adam would do it. Adam has like 200,000 people on his channel. I mean, Salt Lake City on episode 1, I think only got 400,000 downloads live. So, I mean, they're not that far apart. So I guess I'm trying to say, like, Adam should have gotten something for doing that. Okay. That's number one. Number two, I want to also call out that Adam did that phone call with Whitney before we actually spoke about who it was. And that's probably because Whitney Rose pressured Adam before he could get a hold of me to tell him what she wanted to hear on the show. And Adam rolled with it, I'm gathering, because nobody else released the Alibaba gossip except for me. And that's because the person picked me very intentionally that actually wanted to call out Whitney Rose's business. Now, I know today you are dying for me to tell you who I think this cast member is. Why do I say think? Well, because this cast member tried to use a Finsta account to do it, but they did it in a way that I know who it is. The plot thickens. So I came up with a riddle for you to figure out who it is. Because that's so much more fun than just saying it. All right, ready? This person was very angry behind the scenes at what Whitney Rose did on the show to them after they were so close. This person has ties to staff members that gossip and are known to gossip. And this cast member is the best researcher of gossip out of the whole cast. And that is saying something that I admire and respect them. And I know this firsthand. And this person is very strategic how they deliver information on the show and when to deliver information on the show. That usually helps with iconic scenes and storylines, and is the person that you would least likely expect to drop this tea. And if you can figure out who it is, then you just got the information that you listened for. And if you can't, well, then join the Patreon. Oh, one more thing. Lisa Barlow hates my guts. And this person doesn't, which is why they selected me. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And I love you, Adam. You're the best. This is so much fun that you and I are in the middle of all this. Now, let me add something to this before I wrap it up and do the transition into the secret part of the show where I'm going to drop some exclusive Alexis Bellino tea. I want you, and New Jersey, got some stuff on New Jersey I want to share. I want to tell you that the least of Whitney Rose's problems is my video showing her spiritual jewelry is junk from China, because she's running a multi-level marketing scheme that is not refunding people their money and is, puking up other MLM companies' products as if they're hers and rebranding it from Whitney Rose to Soul People, probably because she's scared because when all the bad shit comes out, because it's already starting, her name is going to be dragged through the mud again. That'll be her storyline next season, that company's a junker taking advantage of people, not refunding money. Sound familiar? Probably why she knew so much about Jen Shah's business in the limo in season 2. Anyway, there's a load of shit coming her way. So I wouldn't focus too much on the Alibaba shit. That's 6 months ago, who cares? The next thing is going to be a real whopper for her. But you know who I feel like we've left out a little bit in the Dishing Drama Dana show for a while, and that is Mary Cosby. And so before I go bring us into the Patreon and spill this exclusive gossip about Alexis Bellino, I thought I would drop a bomb to the listeners on the free listening platforms and YouTube just before I go, because I like to do that. So this might help Mary with her storyline next season, because it turns out that Mary Cosby's $7 million mansion in Salt Lake City is in pre-foreclosure because they haven't paid the mortgage in a few months and they can't refinance it, which explains the lawsuit. But that's for another day. If you know, you know. And frankly, we're the only ones that know, and now you do. So have fun with that. Well, now that we're in the Patreon, let me tell you what I figured out, you guys. So Mary Cosby, for the full scoop, join the Dishing Drama Dana Patreon. The link is in this audio description. It's only $6 a month, and you'll get the best information and tea about the things you care about, and even the things you don't know you care about. What are you waiting for?